Hey, what's up, guys? This is your boy Jonathan Regalado. So today I'm actually going to be talking to you guys on medical supplies and what you actually need. The events that are going on, the events that are occurring. I mean, we're already seeing the supermarkets are filling up. There's nothing left, no food, nothing like that. So toilet paper fine is necessary, but it will not help. It will not stop bleeding, nothing like that. Some of the stuff I do have out, and I'm actually going to open some so I can show you guys how to properly place them. Um, but before I get to that, if you guys do any of this medical stuff or some of it, um, follow along. But I'm gonna be teaching how to properly place it, how to properly wrap your arm, your hand, stuff like that. Sadly, I do not have a person here to help me with this, so I'm just gonna be doing everything myself. So, like I was saying, I'm gonna replay a message that in my last video when I start going with this, when I start talking about the coronavirus and America shutting down and all that stuff. I'm actually gonna be playing that message, replaying that message all over again for the people who did not catch it, for they can hear it themselves. So before I get to my message, I'm gonna be playing that message. Good thing I have my speaker on, so I don't need to worry.
Hey, you guys, just wanted to give you a crucial update. So, my cousin that works for the Pentagon, my aunt that lives in DC, and my friend that works for the government in Knoxville, between last night and today, I've had 3 people notify me that has not been announced yet, but the U.S. is about to go on a 4-week quarantine, which means you cannot leave your home. You can't go to anywhere that you can do sales transactions like grocery stores, shopping, movies, anything like that. So in about 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks, they're going to announce this shutdown. Once the shutdown is in place or the warning, everything from the grocery store is going to be cleared out. At this time, it's critical that you stock up on canned goods, frozen food.
Like I said, I'm gonna be showing how to properly apply certain things like bandages, for basic first aid stuff that you are need in case of emergency happens. Because, like I said, the president did announce a national emergency. Supermarkets are being filled. People are getting everything need what is necessary. But toilet paper, fine, get toilet paper, but don't get it to stop because you're not gonna have enough. Toilet paper is not in a durable product to stop bleeding. You need actually in order to stop bleeding, you need the right supply to stop bleeding. So by saying that, I am gonna open. So I'm gonna start showing you how to apply certain things. First, what is necessary when you're dealing with blood, or and even with a human, with how we have a lot of bacteria in us, and we don't know what person can be carrying. First, what is important, you do need gloves. That is the most important thing to keep yourself safe, to keep the person you're attending to keep them safe, and especially from it also helps you not catch any disease. They taught this in EMT school, and I'm not sure how the proper way to check a person's temperature without exposing your skin. Now, it is necessary if you do have gloves with you. It is necessary for you to be carrying more than just one because gloves do rip. And our palm of our hand, we touch everything with our palm of our hand. And if we get any type of blood or any type of infection, and we touch our face or anything, or maybe have a cut on our palm of our hand, we can get affected. So what I'm gonna necessarily start off is someone has a broken arm, if they have a long sleeve or a broken leg, they have pants. You don't need trauma scissors. Now, what trauma is for, I'm going to use one of my old pants to actually show you because I don't even use those pants. So I'm going to use one of my old pa- pants to show you how to use these. I mean, I don't even use these. They're a little bit too big for me. So the proper way to cut pants, you always want to start off the bottom where your ankle is. You don't get your trauma scissors. You're gonna get your trauma scissors if you have trauma scissors. You're gonna start from here. You're gonna start from here, if you can see, and you're gonna start cutting. It might be a little bit. It might take a while because of the texture, but you're gonna start cutting the pants. Sorry. There it goes. So we're gonna be doing it. You're gonna start cutting the pants. Sorry, that took a while. I haven't used these for a while, so as you see, they're making the cut. You're gonna start cutting. Once you start cutting, then you will naturally stay where you make cut and start making yourself way up until where the knee is. But this is if you do have trauma scissors. And after that, if you need to, you can just rip it apart like that. It just makes it way more easier. You don't have to rip it apart once you make your cut. Now, say if the person is, I mean, from a broken leg, you will not die from a broken leg. The unique thing about our bodies are actually able to reheal bone. So yeah, don't be hurting. But the unique things about our body, it can repair tissue, it can repair bone. Our body is a unique system. Most important, hopefully all you guys have this. If you don't, please go buy some. You don't need them no matter what, because if you have little kids, of course, they don't run around and fall and they don't get scraped. And you don't need band-aids. You don't need band-aids. Now, I'm pretty sure I do not need to show you how to use this, but you guys should know how to use these already. They're not even that hard to figure out. Like I said, the first essential thing is to have gloves on. And if you do have eye safety, put on your eye safety material. Glasses, goggles, will do. Yes, glasses or goggles. No sunglasses, no shades, nothing like that. Now, what else is more important if you do have this? I don't get a bigger one. Is a roll. Now this is helpful because this is reusable. So even though I use it, I can actually reuse it. So I'm gonna actually cut this open to show you guys how to properly. So once you open it, what you're gonna do, you don't get this side. You don't put it necessarily. Say if I'm being right here, you don't put it right here. You're gonna wrap it around like this, and as you keep wrapping it around, make sure you have enough strength to stop the bleeding. You're just gonna keep wrapping it around like this. make sure you have enough strength where the blood will actually stop. Yes, keep wrapping. Because this will actually stop the bleeding. Now, if the bleeding continues, you see blood going through, then necessary put more on. Because this will actually help a lot with to stop the bleeding. But make sure you have enough strength where you actually put enough pressure to to stop the system of the blood. Now, necessarily, what I would then necessarily do is I will redo, remake it, do it apart, and I will grab this, put back, and do it that way. But since it don't be paint all over the place we have this thing, if you do have tape, they would necessarily also come good for to wrap. Now, this can be a little hard because of gloves. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, here you go. So now say if you do have this type of tape, what you're gonna do where you see the opening, you're gonna stick that on there, and you're gonna just wrap it all around like this until it's durable. Once you have this, that should stop the bleeding. Like I said, if this does not stop the bleeding, then the next thing we'll do is you put more on. Now this, like I said, I'm just gonna open some of these, not all of them. Now this, what this can also do, since it's this thick, well, since it's long, we get to also do same thing with the tape. I'm not going to open the room because I don't want to keep opening supplies. With this, what you're gonna do, you're gonna put it right here on where the bleeding is necessary. You can either put it right here on the neck or right here on the arm. Or say if you have a big cut on your head, you can also put it right here. I will get to down right how to properly use that. Now with your tape, what you're gonna do, to make it a little bit more easier, what you're gonna do, you're gonna put the tape in the middle. Then you're gonna put it where the bleeding is. Once you actually have where the bleeding is, you're gonna start the same thing. Just keep wrapping. Just keep wrapping until you have the bleeding under control. Once you have the bleeding here, then you're good. Because bleeding, we necessarily if we lose a quarter of a blood, we're finished. We we basically are gonna die at that point. We lose a quarter of a blood. Now these are triangle band-aids. Now, well, I'm not gonna open this because, like I said, I do not have my partner here to help me with this, so I was only able to do this and only this. As what triangle band-aid is for is, like I said, if you have a head concussion or anything, you can get your triangle band-aid and you can wrap it around your head. Um, Let me see if my friend can come actually help with this. Let's see if my friend can come help me with this. Yo, what are you doing? Are you busy or anything? Or you don't be? Can you come down to my house? I need help out with the video. Well, eat and then if you can't come down to my help, I need your help. All right, call me when you're here. All right, so he's like I said, he's on way. So once he's here, I'm actually going to show you how to properly. Well, he's going to show you. He's going to do on me how to properly um reduce a broken arm or how to bend in the head. Now, if you do have a stethoscope or a blood cup, I do not know where my blood cup is. Oh, found it. Now, if you do have a blood cup, this is what these. And I know we live in a digital world, and I know there's digital devices out there to measure blood, but when something serious happens, we're probably probably not gonna be working. So an old school blood cup can necessarily come in handy. Now this, what this helps for, it actually measures the blood, the pulse. Because we have 4 pulses. I'm gonna be playing on YouTube right now, where you can actually hear for the pulse you don't need an institute if you're doing using a stethoscope and if you're using a blood cup. But this actually measures how high your blood is. So let me uh let me go on YouTube and put it on. Dracholic. I'm pretty messed that up. I'm pretty said it wrong. Okay, I think this is it. Hopefully this is it. Sorry guys, it's on commercial.
I'm Josh Farquharson, and welcome to Blood
Here it
Pressure
is.
Audio-Visual Coordination Skills. There are several steps involved in taking a blood pressure measurement, and each step must be completed with accuracy. This is especially true when viewing the blood pressure dial and listening with the stethoscope. You must be able to effectively coordinate what you're hearing with what you're seeing. Just imagine if you recorded a patient's blood pressure as normal, when in actuality their pressure was extremely high and they were at risk for having a stroke. Your inaccuracy can have dire consequences on the patient's overall health. This lesson will help you achieve accuracy when taking blood pressure measurements. By the end of this lesson, you will identify and interpret the graduation markings on an aneroid sphygmomanometer dial, and determine the systolic and diastolic blood pressure by reading the dial and listening to the Korotkov sounds. If you ever had your blood pressure taken, you likely noticed that the results were stated as one number over the other number, such as 120 over 80. Number, in this case 120, represents systolic pressure, and the bottom number, in this case 80, represents the diastolic pressure. Let's take a close look at the dial used for determining such a measurement. This is the aneroid sphygmomanometer dial, also known as the blood pressure dial.
That's what it is. Is that it's what basically show you. So basically,
mmHg because blood pressure is measured in millimeters of mercury. Also on the dial, you'll notice that there are lines in various sizes. The largest lines represent values of 20. This is 20, this is 40, 60, and so on. Medium lines represent values of
So
10.
when
This is 30,
80 is 40. Well, the
70,
lines.
and so on. And the smallest lines represent values of 2. So this line represents
Small lines
22,
value
24,
measure at 2.
26, 28, and so on. Now let's use the needle to determine the number displayed on the dial. Concentrate on the tip of the needle and the line that it's pointing to. How much does this line represent? If you stated 68, you are correct. How much does this line represent? If you stated 112, you are correct. And how much does this line represent? If you stated 294, you are absolutely correct. Great job. Now that you're comfortable with reading the blood pressure dial, let's apply audiovisual coordination
Now these are
skills.
the stuff.
For this, please increase your volume level and have a pen and paper on hand.
This is what you need to hear
There are
for
two main
when you're
areas
taking
that you
blood
need to
pressure.
focus on when determining a blood pressure reading. One, the position of the needle on the dial, and two, the Korotkov sounds. We will refer to the Korotkov sounds as thumping sounds for the duration of this video. You arrive at the point of the procedure when you slowly deflate the cuff to hear the sounds. You will notice the needle move in a counterclockwise direction. It is at this point that you need to listen very closely for the thumping sounds.
Number
On
one.
hearing the first thump, note the needle's position on the dial and record the number. That's the systolic pressure. As the cuff deflates and the needle continues to move, you will continue to hear the thumping sounds. Listen closely for the last thump. Upon hearing the last thump, note the needle's position on the dial. That's the diastolic pressure. Let's practice applying these two steps. Please note that your answer may be slightly different from what's displayed, but that's okay. As long as your answer is within 4 millimeters of mercury, your answers are still considered accurate. For example, if the displayed answer is 120 over 80, but your answer falls somewhere in the range of 118 over 78 through 122 over 82, your answer is still considered accurate. Of course, matching the displayed answer is the goal to achieve the most accurate answer. I use 114 over 76 as an example. Subscribe to my Allied Health Tools YouTube channel. You stated 68, you are correct. So on.
Sorry, I skipped the video.
Now let's use the needle to determine the number displayed on the dial. Concentrate on the tip of the needle and the line that it's pointing to. How much does this line represent? If you stated 68, you are correct. How much does this line represent? If you stated 112, you are correct. And how much does this line represent? If you stated 294, you are absolutely correct. Great job. Now that you're comfortable with reading the blood pressure dial, let's apply audiovisual coordination skills. For this, please increase your volume and have a pen and paper on hand.
Increase it.
There are two main areas that you need to focus on when determining a blood pressure reading. One, the position of the needle on the dial, and two, the Korotkov sounds. We will refer to the Korotkov sounds as thumping sounds for the duration of this video. When you arrive at the point of the procedure, when you slowly deflate the cuff to hear the sounds, you will notice the needle move in a counterclockwise direction. It is at this point that you need to listen very closely for the thumping sounds. Upon hearing the first thump, note the needle's position on the dial and record the number. That's the systolic pressure. As the cuff deflates and the needle continues to move, you will continue to hear the thumping sounds. Listen closely for the last thump. Please note that your answer may be slightly different from what's displayed, but that's okay. As long as your answer is within 4 millimeters of mercury, your answers are still considered accurate. For example, if the displayed answer is 120 over 80, but your answer falls somewhere in the range of 118 over 78 through 122 over 82, your answer is still considered accurate. Of course, matching the displayed answer is the goal to achieve the most accurate answer. We'll use 114 over 76 as an example. Alright, so now that you know the basics, let's try a few simulations. Listen closely and write down your answers. I will reveal the correct answer once the simulation ends. Here's the first one. Try another.
No, I think that was a little too high for blood pressure.
Oh, did you answer all of them correctly? Great job. Give yourself a huge
Well,
pat
there
on
you
the
go.
back for a job well done. So much more to learn about blood pressure, especially.
Well, there you have it. Now I don't actually don't let take this off. It's getting my nerves. I'm probably not going to use these no more. I don't be looking up the sounds here. Let me take this off. I did put a little bit too hard. Yeah, I put a little bit too much tape on. I'm trying not to cut my wings. There it goes. Okay. Now let me do this one. Now be aware this kind of tape does hurt. Like I said, this type of tape does hurt a lot when you try to take it off your skin. That's what I thought that'd be refresh. Oh, okay, I'll be back. Let me throw this away. So basically, that's how you apply. That's how you apply stuff to stop bleeding. Now, if you're gonna be using a stethoscope, what they call as EMT is well. First, let's before I show you. First, you have to always make sure these are covered rating to your heartbeat and stuff like this. If you're using a blood pressure to measure blood, then what you're gonna be doing, how for the adult you're gonna be using this side. For kids, you're gonna be using this side. Now, for adult, 180 is the average for a male. I think for a female, it has to be a little bit higher than that. We're gonna do if you're using a blood tester, you don't make sure you put it underneath the blood cup, and you're holding, and you don't be squeezing. You don't be squeezing. Make sure they don't get stuck anywhere. Um, make sure you get the accurate blood pressure. You don't want to mess up on it. But you don't want to freak out your patient. Yeah, put music back on. Yeah, we all need some bad firefighter songs. So I don't know when the person that needs help with this video, I don't know when he's gonna come. What else? Basically that's about it. Oh, I almost forgot. Now, okay, that's what I forgot. Now I'm actually going to open one of just. Well, I'm just going to open one of these. This is why I always it's good to be real. I do not know what this is, but I did not know what this is. Now you don't get. I guess this is to wipe off the blood before you even put alcohol on it. You're gonna get one of these to clean up your skin of the surface if you do have blood. So basically we're gonna do. Like I said, I don't think this, but I'm pretty sure this is what for. You don't wipe the blood. I guess it is to stop the blood or something. You don't just don't wipe the blood. And once you wipe the blood, you're just keep wiping. That's about it. All you don't be doing is you just keep wiping. And like I do not know what this is, but it was in my EMT kit, so I'm pretty sure it's actually good to use. So yes, now that I get the stuff you need, like food, water, that kind of stuff. Incoming. Thank you. Now I'm gonna finish this video. I'm probably gonna make a little bit when the president will come and help me when he's here. But for now, have the rest of the good day, Regalado Family, and I see you when I make the next video.
Now. It's car buying season. The best time to score huge savings on our award-winning lineup. Get in the game. Get to Nissan now. Shop ChooseNissan.com and your local Nissan.